Good morning and welcome to Week 100, Townsquare Sunday. That's right, this program just about 2 years old. I'm your host, Jim Phillips, and the weekend of May 4th and 5th in New Bedford is going to be a busy one. In Greater New Bedford, all three guests today are sponsoring events on that weekend. Up now is the Hatch Street Studios Artist Association, and they're celebrating an arts weekend event on that weekend, May 4th and 5th. The public is invited, of course. It's a free family event. With us today are Beatrice Oliveira of the association and artists Amanda Walker and Tracy Barboza. Welcome to you all.
Good morning, Jim, and good morning to all our listeners here at WBSM. It's nice to be here on this cool Sunday morning. Thank you for having us.
Beatrice, let's start with you. What is the Hatch Street Studios Artists Association? What is that group?
It's a group of 65-plus visual and performing arts that make their magic over at Hatch Street Studios. Hatch Street is literally on Hatch Street in the north end of New Bedford. It's a 4-story building that was at one time a mill that manufactured clothing, and there has been an artist community for well over 20 years now.
Now, how many artists?
There's over 65, and that's visual and performing artists.
So how did this all come together? Is it something that people kind of joined? Amanda, tell us about how you made your connection with Hatch Street.
Well, I've always loved and visited Hatch Street holiday open studio sale. And so when a friend and I wanted to start expanding our creative process, Hatch Street was our first choice to go touring, and we were able to move into a studio space at Hatch, and we love it there.
And Tracy, let's talk a little bit about Tracy Barboza. Let's talk about how did you get involved?
I've had my art studio practice since 1998. And have moved here and there around the country, and like most people, ended up back home in the South Coast. And when we were seeking a place to settle that was family-friendly, affordable, beautiful, near beaches, great food, where do you go? You go to New Bedford. And we found Hatch Street Studios as a wonderful artist community to join up with, and it's been an honor to be part of it.
Did you always feel that way about New Bedford?
No, that's why I left.
Yeah.
But it's had a big turnaround in the years that I was away, which just was ever more impressive, especially as rents in New York City got too high.
Yeah. Clearly.
Clearly.
There is a big difference, that's for sure.
So you do have this element of exodus that happens back home to a place like New Bedford that's been infused with money as a gateway city from different arts foundations and other projects that are state-run and national that have offered New Bedford a lot of means to create festivals and sponsor arts community of all sorts. So it's been great.
And out of all this comes the Hatch Street Arts Weekend, which is coming up again May 4th and May 5th. So I'd like to ask Beatrice about that for just a moment. What is the what are people going to see? And again, this is free, open to the public. It's a family event, really. So what are people going to see, Beatrice?
It is a free event for sure, and the Hatch Arts Weekend is actually the first of what will be an annual event. When I came on board with Hatch Street back in January, I saw the need to create a spring event that brought the community together and build a community within itself, as well as connecting to the neighborhood that we're in. And the artists were very embracing of the idea, and we decided that it's going to happen every spring. It's part of ArtWeek. ArtWeek is a statewide effort that is headed by the Box Center in Boston. Tracy will talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but we had this opportunity to participate in something that brings at least 500 different venues throughout Massachusetts together on a week in late April, early May to celebrate the arts and to provide opportunities for the public to see arts from a different perspective, not just go into a gallery and look at paintings or go into a studio and see, sort of from a distance what the artists are creating, but participate. Come in and do some drawing, come in and do some painting, listen to some live music, see some juggling, which is going to be happening at our space. We have everything from fine art wood makers to, believe it or not, a Smiles clown school. And the folks there will be doing face painting, doing the juggling, puppeteering, some story time. So it's very welcoming to families with young and older kids. We'll also have a Guatemalan Kite Festival making workshop. Again, Tracy will talk more about that.
Sure.
And there are opportunities within various studios at Hat Street to join the artists in making art.
All right, so Tracy, Beatrice made reference to you a couple of times there, but there is a state connection to all of this, and you have been involved in that?
Yes. Well, me and all the other artists are very excited to be part of ArtWeek in Massachusetts. ArtWeek is presented by the Highland Street Foundation, and it's produced by the Botch Center. Many of us real Massachusetts people know that's the Wang. And so this is the Botch Center's major nonprofit effort for the year to produce this statewide celebration of Massachusetts as a creative place to engage. And it's featuring more than 500 unique and creative experiences in over 100 towns. And we're part of it. So this is a week-long celebration. You can go to look at ArtWeek online and find out all the other things that are going on as well. But Hat Street wants you there on May 4th and 5th.
Absolutely. And Amanda, this is a chance for artists to show off what they can do, not show off, but to display.
Yes, show off.
Show off. That's probably a tip.
Reveal and celebrate their artwork. Yes.
Sure.
We are, it's a really fascinating community. As Beatrice said, both unto itself and extending outwards into the whole New Bedford and southeast community. So we have fine woodworkers and custom furniture makers. We have sculptors, painters, printmakers, glass artists. We have
martial artists.
We also have many schools there, actually, and instructors. We have music instruction, aerial arts, a clown school, painting and children's school. We have a gallery right there on the premises.
And all of that will be open to the public that day. And there'll be things happening there as well, not just come in and look around and then leave, but there'll be programs there.
Yes, there'll be scheduled programs. We will be putting that out on our social media pages shortly, so please do follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. We post very frequently, and we'll be updating our followers as we add things. We're adding things every single day. But again, we have the bookmobile will be there from the library. They'll be doing some story time in the morning on Saturday. We have several musicians that will be performing throughout the weekend, so you'll always see live music no matter what hour you come, or what day for that matter. And we will have various workshops of things that you can participate in. Like I said, Tracy's doing this wonderful Guatemalan Kite Festival that will lead up to the Guatemalan Kite Festival in September. That should be a September 21st, Tracy tells me. So that should be a really fun experience. Everything is free. All the supplies are provided. Laurie Bradley, who's an incredible painter, will be doing portraits of your pet workshop on Saturday. She'll supply all of the arts supplies that you need. Mm-hmm. All you need to do is show up and paint your favorite pet. So that should be interesting.
You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. My guests are Beatrice Oliveira, Amanda Walker, and Tracy Barbosa, all from the Hat Street Studios Artist Association. Tracy, how does the Hatch Street Studios fit in with the growing cultural community in New Bedford? I think a lot of people tend to think that the hub of New Bedford's cultural community is downtown. But there's a lot happening, not only at Hatch Street but in the North End, that people may not be aware of. How does Hatch Street fit in the community?
Well, I would say that Hatch Street is a nexus in the North End for creative activity. It's situated very close to the Ave, Acushnet Ave, and there's been a lot of efforts in the recent years through groups like Love the Ave and New Bedford CEDC that have been trying to lift up that area and kind of literally give it some love and bring business back and more confidence in spending time there, which has been a wonderful thing. There's been mural efforts all over the Ave to dress it up, and there is a program through the Economic Development Council for business owners to revamp their storefronts and get payment for that. So there's a lot of great stuff going on up there beyond just the arts. But the arts are the door in, where people see love being given to their area and respect it more. And we're working on that as a public effort.
And Beatrice, you wanted to add something about that.
I did. One of the things that we can be proud of in New Bedford is the number of various cultures that exist here. And Hatch is a perfect place to welcome everyone and anyone and create together, because that always builds community. So I'm really proud of that at Hatch Street, how much that happens there. But aside from all of these wonderful storefront efforts that are happening and what the city is doing in general with this Arts and Culture Consortium, they just formed a big study on the arts and culture and how that impacts our quality of life anywhere. But there's this effort to welcome in every member of our community so that we can build a stronger New Bedford, rather than sort of operate the way we have for many years, keeping certain segments of the arts in the margins. I think it's all of what's being created in New Bedford is being pulled into mainstream so they can be celebrated in venues like this.
Well, and that was kind of the purpose of the study and the purpose of the consortium that's being formed, to find ways to get everybody included.
Correct, yes.
In the community. And
yes.
That's a wonderful thing.
And so we're trying to do our best to do that at Hatch Street Studios with these 65-plus artists.
All right. Amanda, the outdoor murals in the North End, I don't know how much you know about those, but that is an effort, I think, that has really kind of taken off.
Yes.
When one appeared, I think all of us were kind of amazed at how vivid it was and how really, it's art. You can't help but stop and look at it and appreciate the work.
Right.
And now there's a lot more in the North End. Are they run through the Hatch Street, or are they independent, or how does that all work?
Well, we are fortunate enough to have had artists work on murals at Hatch, but if you look throughout the city, there is public artwork going up everywhere, and we are really excited about that. One of our favorite artists, Brian Tillett, had said in one of his recent interviews, I'm paraphrasing, but something like, I made you look. If I got you to stop and look, I got you. And so we're really excited to see all the different artwork going up as part of Super Flat. And it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing for the city of New Bedford. But all of this, all of the economic, I shouldn't say that, but all of the artwork, while it may be part of the creative economy in some folks' mind, until it starts to generate tourism and generate more people coming here and spending money here, we need the creative economy in New Bedford. The days of manufacturing and whaling, those are long gone. So we need the creative economy. Businesses need it.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, Jim. Not only do we need it so that we can enjoy our days, day in and day out more, But the artists are making products that are not just pretty to look at, but useful. There are a lot of makers in our space. So when we think about art, it's not just the painting that goes on the wall. Oftentimes we have Chrissy Feitera in our studio. She runs a business out of Hat Street. She actually sells her product all over the world, ceramic products. Tracy has a architectural glass business that is run out of Hat Street. Not only does she create these beautiful pieces of art to put on your wall, but she also makes the things that are functional, like doors and windows, a beautiful thing to look at. So she can tell you a little bit more about that. In fact, I would love it if she did.
Okay, Tracy, so tell me, is the creative economy working in New Bedford? It probably isn't working, as fully as we'd all like it to work, but is it working? Is it coming around? Are things happening? You're an example of that.
Yes, I would say yes, it's happening. I think the effect of the creative economy is gauged not in the same way exactly as a manufacturing business might affect the economy in a city, but it does create attraction. It creates a sense of comfort and beauty, and there's something new going on, and people want to feel like they're part of that. And so that translates into sales at the local shops, into restaurant sales, into people wanting to move there. So it's not necessarily I sold 100 parts and therefore I'm successful. It's that you're reaching these people through a different level of excitement.
Where can people go to get more information about the Hat Street Weekend, the Arts Weekend, May 4th and May 5th? Beatrice, fill us in.
I would really love to for you all to check out our Instagram and our Facebook pages. It's facebook.com/Hatch Street Studios, and it's the same thing with Instagram, instagram.com/Hatch Street Studios. We do post regular updates there, so it's the best source of information at the moment. I have to say we're in the process of recreating our website, so that is not up to date yet, but we hope to have it up before the weekend. One thing I did want to mention is that what Hatch is today would not be possible without our private sector investing in the arts as well. It's not just state funds that pay for these things. It's people that are in our business community that see the value of having a strong arts and culture community. And I have to mention Jeff Glassman and Lori Glassman, who are the owners of Hat Street. They run a business on Belleville Avenue called Darn It, Inc. They fix other people's mistakes in a nutshell. A very wonderful couple that has become the biggest cheerleader for the arts in the north end of New Bedford. And he has really made a commitment at Hat Street, both 88 and 90 Hat Street, two large buildings, to make them exclusively available to artists. And it's come a long way.
My thanks to Tracy Barboza of the Hatch Street Studios Artists Association, Amanda Walker of the association, and Beatrice Oliveira, who is a program director there and consultant.
Yes, I'm a consultant there. I started with them in January. Very happy to be very pleased to be working with all these wonderful artists. I also wanted to mention that the Hat Street Arts Weekend will include some visiting artists. One of them happens to be my niece, I have to say, a young 26-year-old that is self-taught. Veronica Gary, she'll have her work there. Michael Tracy is another artist coming in to exhibit for that weekend. We have a New Bedford Farmers Market that will be there as well. Our cafe, Arpeggio, will be providing food and beverages. And the Mystical Recluse, another couple of ladies that will be there with their products as well. And I also wanted to mention the United Way that provides some funding for make our building more accessible, and Reynolds DeWalt Printing.
Well, good luck with the Arts Weekend. That's May 4th and 5th at the Hatch Street Studios, 88 to 90 Hatch Street in New Bedford. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't go away. Townsquare Sunday returns in just one moment.